Good afternoon, boys and girls. My name is Miss Ibarra, and just for today, I am not going to be a teacher. I'm going to be a librarian. Why? Because hopefully in May, I'm going to graduate from Sam Houston University, and I'm going to become a librarian. That's my goal, to become a librarian. So for today, I'm going to pretend that I'm your librarian, okay? And just so you guys know, you are being recorded. This is a lesson that will be recorded, okay? So we're gonna start off doing a little pre-test, okay? Now, don't worry about it if you don't know a lot of the answers. It's okay because this is a pre-test. After we do our lesson and we do some research, you should know a little bit more about this, okay? But I am going to give you a little bit of a hint of what this is. So, after talking to your teacher, I know that a few weeks ago you guys read a story called Dear Primo, a letter to my cousin, right? What was that story about?
About Mexican, two different cultures.
Different cultures, right?
Yeah.
Because, why was it about two different cultures?
Because it was in Mexico.
One was American and one was Mexican.
Very good. The cousins were from different cultures, right? One was from Mexico, one was from America. Okay, so, and you've also been learning about comparing and contrasting, right? That's a skill that you've been learning in your classrooms?
Yes.
Okay, so that is what your pre-test is going to be about. And your post-test, after you've done your research, is gonna be the exact same thing. My goal is to see if you actually learned something after this lesson. So like I said, it's okay, don't be nervous if you don't know a lot of this stuff, or if you cannot write down a lot of facts in your Venn diagram right now, it's okay, because our goal is that at the end of this lesson, this is gonna be full. So you have your little Venn diagram right here, and then you are also going to have two questions in the back, which are, what is culture, and what is a tradition, okay? So I have group leaders, please right now pass out your test. And I'm only gonna give you guys a little bit of time to work on this, okay? Please do not look at your partner's paper, your neighbor's paper. Try your very, very best. Grab a pencil, and I'm gonna be walking around. I cannot help you with this though. I wanna see how much you know. And like I said, it's okay if you do not know something, it's okay. Just try your very, very best. Okay? So I'm gonna give you guys 5 minutes to work on this. So speed right. You can start. Make sure you write your name on your paper, so I know who it belongs to. Yes. Oh, you don't have a pencil. I'm sorry, sweetie. Here you go. And remember, you are writing. Think about some similarities and some differences that Mexico and the United States have. And then tell me in the back. Make sure you answer those two questions in the back. What is a tradition and what is culture? Just anything that pops into your mind. Remember, there's no wrong answers here. If you don't know any similarities and differences, it's okay. Try to answer the questions in the back. You guys have like 2 more minutes. One more minute. Okay, let's put our pencils down. And it's okay if you didn't get to write a lot. Pencils down, everybody eyes over here. Okay, so why do you guys come to the library? Can somebody tell me? Madeline,
We come to the library to learn to read.
to learn to read, okay. What this? To do AR. Kimberly,
To learn new things.
to learn new things.
We come to the library so we could get information about other things and what they're in books.
Very good. So what Haley basically just said is exactly what I'm going to teach you. In case some of you did not know, you come to the library not only to read, but you also come to the library to do research. And I'm sure you guys have done research in your classrooms, right?
Yes.
Okay, so now, today I'm going to, if you are not familiar with this particular model, I'm going to teach it to you guys. And it's called the Super 3 Research Model, okay? So I found a super cute little video that tells you just a little bit about what the Super 3 model is. So everybody eyes on the screen over here. Let me put it. And
3 research skills. Oh, hey Panda, you look like you could use some help. I need to learn some facts about stars, but
Can everybody hear?
Start. Well, it looks like you come to the right place. Where's your research plan? Research plan? Well, it looks
is anybody familiar with this?
Yes.
Yes.
Where do we have this?
On
In
the
our website.
In the Kennedy Zapata website, okay? So keep that in mind.
so you
Oops, sorry.
come to the right place. Where's your research plan? Research plan? Can't I just search it up? You could, but it looks like you're feeling overwhelmed. You need the Super 3. What's the Super 3? The Super 3 are 3 steps to great research.
Excuse me.
What are the steps?
Yes. Do you have second grade?
Steps of the Super
Yes, ma'am.
3 research.
Do you have Desi Yanis?
He's in room 12.
Okay, thank you.
Think about what you're researching.
So basically they were talking about what the Super 3 is. It has 3 steps. Very simple. You plan, and that's what they're going to talk to you about, okay? To plan. What is a plan?
something you write.
Something you write, okay, Haley?
A plan is when you write down what you're gonna do
Very good. That's perfect. A plan is when you write down what you're going to do.
or what you're going to research.
Very good. Plan.
Topic is and what question you have about it. Write down what you know and what you need to know about the topic. Think about where you will find your information. Places you get your information are called sources. Use sources like books, databases, HelpGo, and good websites like Brain Pop Jr. and PBS Learning Media before you do an internet search on a place like Google. Start to think about how you might share what you've learned with others. Second step is do. Do the work. Look for information in your sources. Write down your information on graphic organizers. Use words and pictures.
Now that is exactly what we're going to do. We're gonna come up with a plan before you guys break into your little activity. We're going to create a plan, okay? I'm going to tell you what you guys are gonna be researching. And like Haley had mentioned when we were talking about this earlier, since we're doing comparing and contrasting 2 cultures, right? Can you use a Venn diagram?
Yes.
That's exactly what they're telling you to do, right?
If you need to help you remember things. The third step is review. Look at your information and decide if you've answered the question. If you haven't, you may need to do more research or ask for help. Think about whether or not, oh, hey, Panda.
Oh, sorry. Okay, that part right there, I wanted to stop it because was this part, the review part, it's very important. Every time you do something, guys, you need to make sure that before you turn an assignment in, you need to go back and you need to review it. You need to look at your questions. You need to look at your outcomes to see if that's the best you could do. And if you think that you can make better choices or have better responses, it's always okay to go back and do more research, okay?
you're ready to make a project to show what you're learning. And think about the most important information that you learned.
That doesn't seem too hard. I'm researching stars, and my question is, what are stars? I know that you can only see them at night. I need to know what they're made of, and if there are different kinds of stars. For sources, I'll use Brain Pop and PebbleGo to start. And then, if I need more help, I'll ask an adult. My teacher gave me some graphic organizers to write down on my notes.
That sounds like a great plan, Panda.
And then when I'm finished with my research, I just need to check my research question to make sure I can answer it for the review part.
It sounds like you got it.
I think I do. Plan, do, review. The super 3.
Okay, so what are the 3 steps?
Plan,
Plan, do, review. Can we do that?
Yes.
Piece of cake, right? Okay, so, how do I get out of here? Escape. Yes, I'm looking for the button. Why is it? Okay. Oh, here.
3.
There we go. So now, here, see, that's why second grade needs a. Okay, so these are some posters that we can have around the classroom. And I'm gonna give them to your teacher so that maybe she can display them around your classroom. So that when you're doing research, you remember the 3 steps, which were what? Plan, do, review, okay? So, and they're, very good. So, where are the, so plan, what am I supposed to do? What do I need to do to make, what do I need to do to show what I learned? That is the most important part, right? Well, no, actually the review is the most important part. But you need to have a good plan in order to have a good outcome, okay? Then we have the other one, do. How can I do the job? What can I use to find what I need? In this case, what are we gonna be using? We're in the library, what are we gonna be using? Books, right? Because books have tons of what? Facts. They have a lot of information, right? But we're also going to be using technology. We're gonna be using the computer. However, for this particular lesson, I also brought iPads because in the classroom, we do not have computers, right? We have what? iPads. So I want you guys to be familiar on how to go into that Symbaloo page in our Kennedy Zapata website and find information through here because we have tons of great applications here that you can use for research. And I also brought your reading book. Why is this important? It gives you facts. Now, which one do you think gives you more facts? Your social studies book or your reading book?
Your social studies.
Why?
Because it's all facts. It's
Because-
just teaching you social studies.
Very good. It's all facts. However, for this particular lesson, I brought your reading book because you can always go back to your story that we read, right? Well, that you read, Dear Primo. Because even though that story was real fiction, it was realistic fiction. Which means, what is realistic fiction?
It can happen, but
It can
not
happen.
real.
Very good. It can happen, but the characters are not real, okay? So, now that we've talked about that, I want to teach you guys how to, because you can use this at home too, how to log into our Kennedy Zapata webpage so that you can go into that Symbaloo. So you would go into your Google, and you would type in, very good. You would type in Kennedy Zapata Elementary. When you go here, you would go into
The homepage. The homepage is on
Yes.
the top.
this one, right here, the one that says Kennedy Zapata Home. And you would click on it. And it takes you to our homepage, right? This is our webpage, where they display all these awesome people that do awesome things to our school. Now, this is your Symbaloo. Here you have a lot of applications, guys, that are filled with information. You also have games that you can play from home. But just for today, we're going to be using the Follett Destiny. that's where you have your ebooks, okay? All the books that you have here in the library that are ebooks that you can read from your computer. What did I do? This thing is very sensitive, right here. Okay, so here you can find a lot of books that are called ebooks, okay? Does anybody know has anybody ever used an ebook? Has anybody gone into Tumble Books?
Yes, I did.
Well, those are ebooks. Those are ebooks, okay? Those are books that are on an actual computer. You can read them or you can listen to them. In Tumble Books, I know you can listen to them. And you also have Mac and VIA. This is another application that has a lot of ebooks too, okay? So, now that we're there, these are two of the websites, again, that I said that you're going to be using. And now, we're gonna do our plan. Our plan is going to be what? What is our plan? What can our plan be?
Our plan is to figure out what they do in the United States and Mexico.
Very good. Okay, so we're gonna be comparing and contrasting the two cultures that we talked about, right? Our plan is to go to different stations. We're gonna have different stations. One station, and we're gonna be rotating, okay? One station is going to be your textbooks, your classroom textbooks, okay? Which is gonna be this station. Your another station, and here you're gonna be using your Simbaloo. You're gonna be using your Follet Destiny and your Mac and VIA. Oh, let me log into one of it so you guys can see how you can log in. So from here, you go there, and then you're gonna look for your school, Kennedy Zapata Elementary. You're gonna look for your school, Kennedy Zapata Elementary, and you would click it, and you're gonna go to search, right there, okay? So you would put, here we're talking about what? Oh, we're gonna be using Destiny Discover, I'm sorry. The third one, you see? 1, 2, 3, the third one, Destiny Discover. Here. Type your search here. What can you look for there? What can you put? What are your keywords that you can put? Well, that book we already have there. What information are we looking for? Information where?
Cultures and books.
Cultures and books? Okay, but what two cultures are we?
Mexico.
So, you can type in Mexico and hit search and see if you get any books that give you information on Mexico. After you're done looking for some facts about Mexico, you go back, and what other country can you put? United States. Again, you hit search, and you're gonna do the exact same thing, okay? Look for books, read them, look through them, and write down some facts, okay? But make sure, guys, for example, okay, make sure that the books that you're reading, that you're using for information are actual books that give you facts, not those nonfiction books, okay? That are like the cute stories, not those. So, then we would go back here for Mac and VIA. It's gonna be the exact same thing. And here, can I have Haley Lopez, come here. Here, this is how you're gonna log in. You're gonna go to students, put your ID number right here. Put your ID number, that's gonna be your username. Put enter.
No, you put the number there.
And then right here, you're gonna do the same thing. And then you're gonna hit login. Put your ID number there. There you go. Can you do this from home? Yes, you can. So, you would go down, and you're gonna look for Mac and VIA, right here. No, we're gonna do Mac and VIA, we're not using McGraw-Hill. Mac and VIA. Yes. So from here, you would go to ebooks, right here. You see this one, the third one? Well, actually the fourth one. You would go to ebooks. Right there. And over here where you see the little magnifying lens, again, you're gonna do the same thing. What two cultures are we researching about?
Mexico
and America. Now, if, let's say you don't find all your information, this is your last resort. You can use BrainPop too. You can use a lot of websites. However, let's say, okay, you can't find all of that information. You can always rely on Google too. But remember, when you use Google, you need to make sure that the website that you are going into is an actual good website that gives you good information, okay? Not one of those websites that gives you nothing but junk, okay? So are you ready? Yes? Okay. So, I'm gonna give my team leader, my group leaders, please pick up the post test, make sure that you wrote your names on them. In every table, I left you guys some paper, okay? And you have your pencils. When you go to your different centers, you're gonna take your papers so that you can write down the information that you have located, okay? Are you ready? Thank you. Thank you. So everybody has a piece of paper? Yes? I'm gonna take your pre-test. So we're gonna do this in an orderly manner, okay? Everybody's gonna have a turn, and I would say I'm gonna give you guys about 10 minutes, okay? 10 minutes, and Ms. Guerrero's gonna be very kind to put her timer on so that when her timer goes off, we know we're gonna rotate. However, you might not find all the information you want right now, but this is I'm just exposing you to it. Later on, you're gonna have more time, guys, and you're gonna be able to do these kinds of researches, not only here in the library, but we can also do this where? In the classrooms, okay?
Yeah.
So we're gonna have 10 minutes in each center. Use whatever you have, whatever resources you have, like your books in this, your library books here. Over here, you're gonna be using your iPads. Over here, you're gonna be using your textbooks. And you guys are gonna go to the technology center, okay? Right there in the middle. Yes? Whatever you guys find information on. What are we looking for? What's our plan? Very good. So let's go. Start. And please work together, guys. I'm gonna walk over here with the people in the technology center so that I can set you up. Remember that our goal is to look for information and find as much information that we can on cultures, Mexican and American culture. That is your goal.
Your primo, yes.
Mexico is almost
So right here, what are we looking for? What would you like to first? Mexico, so type in Mexico and see what kind of things they give you. Maybe you can do United States and then you can share facts. Okay, so you're gonna go to ebooks right there. And then right there, you're gonna go to what? Which one did you wanna do? Type in United States. You're already in? You're gonna go to ebooks.
I just put United States.
You. Got it?
Is this United States?
United. So, for example, this one, look. This one has both. Ooh, that's a good one because look, it has celebrations, holidays of the United States and Mexico. So there you can get information on both cultures right there. Which one do you want to use? Mackenvia? Okay, go to ebooks right here. What are you going to search? What do you want to search? Mexico or United States?
Just X, there you go.
Huh?
Just go click
Mexico.
once, only once. No,
So put Mexico.
just one time.
Click it.
Oh, it's not letting you.
Mexico.
Mrs. Varga,
Yes.
how do we do this?
Oh, okay, so we need to look for
There.
another one.
So here,
You have to read this one?
yeah, well, yeah, and it's in Spanish and in English for those students that don't know how to read in Spanish. I mean, in English.
How about
they have
this
it in
one?
Spanish. You see, and then you go to all the different pages. You can skim through it since
Okay,
you're just looking for
go
the
ahead and
facts.
start reading that one.
This one?
Mm-hmm. And then as you finish reading the page, you go here to turn the page.
So here, that's where you're gonna be moving your page forward. The arrows right there. Right there. Yeah. Move this out of the way. Here you go. Right there. Okay. Were you guys able to log in?
Yeah.
Yes? What are you trying to do? Are you working with one? You're working with one, right?
I'm working with
So you're gonna do, you know your ID number one?
Wait, no, this
Wait, but okay, it's a district testing.
is Carlitos.
Student ID.
It's opening up, hold on.
Username, what's your ID number? Type your ID number. So over here, you
Going again?
You have a perfect tool to use. Remember, we also need to research what a tradition is and what culture is. Okay? Yes, ma'am. Yes. Good. So now, what book do you want to use?
Yeah, it's
You're gonna research on Mexico, right? So what book do you want to use? Yes. Mac and Via.
okay. Go to Destiny Discover right there.
Okay. So you're gonna go to ebooks one right here. And now, like for example, Juan, since you have trouble reading English, there's books in Spanish that you can read here too, okay? Hay libros en español que puedes leer tú también. S-O. C-R. So you're gonna put Mexico.
Find Did you already read all this?
Yeah.
Let's find to where they talk about Mexico or the United States. Okay, so continue reading. And when you get to a fact about Mexico or the United States, then you jot it down. Okay, continue reading.
A new boy came to my class.
Very good. I like how you're doing your little notes.
Sorry, the sound is slow.
Little girl to the rescue.
How are we doing over there? Are you finding facts on your books? Yes, good.
I just found three facts of 1, 2, 3,
Are you
three
guys doing over
pages,
here?
and it was really cool.
Guys, remember that you also need to find out what a tradition is and what culture is. That was part of our plan too. Tradition and culture. Yes,
Most
remember that.
Mexico living in quarantine.
How are we doing over here?
Yes.
We're finding facts?
Yes. We're going to go.
You doing it together?
Yes.
Okay.
But we're not counting. We're not counting.
That's on you. Good job.
And a direct. I'm gonna write that. It's really.
Maybe can Juan work with you because his iPad is not picking up anything. Yes? Vas a trabajar con Haley, ¿ok? Porque el iPad no está levantando el So, haz tu silla para acá, Juan, para que trabajes con Haley. Let's work together, okay? Yes. We'll go back to Mac and Via. de Mayo, maybe you can find some things on Cinco de Mayo. That's that's part of their tradition. How are you guys doing? Yes. And here you're going to tell me facts about the United States, facts about Mexico, how they're different, and how are they related. How are you guys doing? This story is going to help you out a lot, right? Because it has a lot of different similarities. Oh, we already have a lot of information. Oh, and remember here you can also use your what? Like for to look for the definition of tradition and culture. What can you use? Your glossary. Your glossary. How about culture? Culture. Found it right there. You know what it is. And maybe in your social studies book, you can look for, okay guys, it's time to switch. We're gonna switch. So put whatever you were using, log out. Let's log out. Let's get ready to rotate. And we're gonna rotate like this. If you're here, go to that one. If you're there, go to the technology. If you're in this one, go to the books. So you're never gonna continue using the iPads now.
Where do we go?
Where were you? You're gonna use the library book. Okay? We're gonna do another 10 minutes. You can continue your research. Yes. So, what do you want to use? How about it? So you're gonna you guys are gonna work What happened? Oh, this is gonna give you a lot of things, right? It's gonna give you a lot of facts. Talking about the Independence Day. Very good. Here, look at these tall buildings. Do you think we have these types of tall buildings here in the United States? We don't? Think about the big cities like New York and Dallas. So would that be a similarity? That both the Mexican and the United States have what?
That will be different. That will be different.
They don't have big buildings?
No.
No? United States doesn't have big buildings. They don't?
Yes.
Does Mexico? Look at the picture. Well, maybe not here in Laredo. Laredo doesn't have a lot of big buildings. But think about San Antonio. Think about Dallas, New York. This is Mexico. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Do you think you can find buildings like this in the United States too? You can? Yes. In the big cities. So would that be a similarity?
Yes.
Yes. So that's one right there. Yes.
This is one of the.
Oh, look.
So read this, we're gonna talk about celebrations in the United States.
What is that? Did they talk about that in the story? So what was it? It's a what? You remember what the other one was? It's in Mexico, right? So do you want to read on that? Maybe you can find some facts about Mexico? Yes or no? Yes? So go into that one. That's a Mexican holiday, right? You're going to put open now.
What do you need to know? We learned something. What do you need to know? Oh, this you should have
And
done
then
this.
here,
Shouldn't
three arrows right there. You go into your book and you start reading.
They're tall.
No?
mountain teacher.
Maybe that's not a good book for you.
Yeah. I need some tall buildings.
Okay.
I also need tall
Okay, let's go back.
We're not even talking. Míralo, búfalo.
I also
And then put Alberta in the United States.
No, the bald eagle.
Why are you
What is a bald eagle, guys? It's a what?
It's
A symbol of America. Now, think about the Mexican flag. What does it have in the Mexican flag?
The green.
But what does it have in the middle?
The eagle.
So, what would that be? Would that be a similarity? They both countries have what? Have a bald eagle as a symbol, right?
Start reading this name. Start reading and see if we can get any facts from there.
The soccer. Oh no, that's
One land, many cultures. How about if you look at that one? You're gonna look at a lot of cultures here.
The American people eat that. The American I'm trying to eat American people. Mira, look at the
Great seal. The great seal.
Entonces trabajan.
Mexican culture.
What is your ID? Go ahead and put it right there. One.
Mira, this is the chile relleno. Que no es
And then the bottom.
And then you look at,
Oh, show it to me, si
you can look at images so that you can see.
Miss Ibarra.
Yes, hold on, give me 1 second. Check to see if we have anything here that has to do with the Mexican culture. Yes. Oh my God, I'm hungry. For example, look at this. These are the traditional Mexican dresses. Do we dress like this that here in the United States? So how is that? This is what? Their clothing, right, that they use? So is the clothing different or the same?
Different.
So there's a difference right there. That's a fact right there on your clothes.
Here,
What?
go ahead and type in.
Portillo,
Yes.
What is it that you want to learn? United States, Mexico.
yes.
4 minutes.
Yes, that's a difference. So put clothing.
They don't have jobs. I know. Everybody has jobs. Los kids no.
Are we talking about the Mexican and American culture? Yes. Thank you. Three minutes, guys. COWNS.
Can we go Mexico?
Yes, of course. Yes, it's your information. You can do it however you want to. Okay. How about if you work with them, Mr. Waldo, right? No. Eduardo. I always want to call him Waldo. Work with them because this iPad is not picking up the internet. That's nothing about technology, guys. So work with them, girl. Can he work with you guys? Yes? What did you find? Did you find something? Oh, we have a lot of information. Very good. Very good. How what? W-L-N.
How are we doing here?
The difference is that the oh my god.
Remember, guys, to also research what a culture is and what a tradition is. That was part of our plan. We need to research that too.
The Statue of Liberty. The what? I'm already done.
Yes, of course. And after this, can you tell your teacher, once you maybe in the social studies activity, you can tell your teacher about the Super 3 model and you can do research on whatever topic you're talking about. In social studies, you can also do this for science because let's say you're talking about life cycles. Can you use the Super 3 plan? Yes, right? Yes. Well, you have 2 minutes, so just make sure it's a quick video.
At least 1 minute.
Yeah, one. Well, no, so 2. How are we doing, Alejandro? How are we doing, Mr. Favela? Good? S-O.
It's already done on his page.
Okay.
We're learning facts.
You are learning facts. You're doing research. I think they do, but you can't find. No, maybe you can research that later on when it's your time to go to the. Well, I don't think you can handbook. This is what I'm seeing.
Did you already see this one?
This is Mexico. The rainforest, look at these months. Well, these are different.
Go ahead and read that, okay? That's where you're gonna get differences and similarities between United States and Mexico. Yes, mommy. Yeah. Okay. Now let's go to the next page.
From Mexico, yes, very good. It's an auklet. Yes. And it's like a wildcat. So yeah.
Their mouths are
Well, because it's called a howler monkey.
They howl.
They howl.
I slot.
Yeah.
They have so much people. No, I don't see that part.
4 seconds, guys. Okay, guys. So we're going to. I want everybody to please come back to your groups. If you have books, put them in the center of the table. Put them in the center of the table, and we're gonna go over some of the things that we learned about today. Okay, pencils down. So, did you guys enjoy doing research? Yes. And you can do research on any topic. It doesn't have to be social studies. You can do it for science. You can do it for maybe another story in reading. You can use research for anything, okay? What is research? What did we learn research was? Finding what?
Finding
information. And what was the research model that we used today? Haley?
Research the Super 3.
We used the Super 3 model, right? And what were the 3 points for the Super 3 model? Do, plan, and review. Did we plan? What was our plan?
To
research what? What was our question? Very good. We were going to research Mexico and the United States, okay? So, you already had a plan of action. Some of you did your Venn diagram. I was walking around. A lot of you have a lot of good information. So now, that was your review, right? When you were doing your research, that's your review. Now, your due, right? Your due is gonna be your post-test. You did your pre-test. A lot of you did not know a lot of information. But now for your post-test, do you guys think you're gonna do better?
Yes.
You guys are gonna have a couple of minutes. But, however, before I give you guys your pre-test, I want to thank you for being good sports and letting me be a librarian for a couple of minutes, okay? So thank you very much for that. make sure that you guys, write your name on it, and I hope that you guys learned something new. Did you guys enjoy the lesson?
Yeah.
It was fun?
But what if you don't have, what if you don't have internet?
Well, if you don't have internet, don't you have a library here in El Cenizo?
Yes.
If you're not here in school and you do not have internet at home, do you have a library here in El Cenizo? Yes. So, do they have computers there?
Yes.
I've been there before. You can go into the Kaylee Zapata website, go into the Simbaloo, and look at all the amazing things you have. You have your reading book there, your your McGraw book, so you can practice your stories. You have Brain Pop to do research on any topic that you want. You have the Wallet Destiny. You have Mac and Via, so you can actually read books that are your level for AR. Read them in the library over there. Write down the titles, and then just come to your classroom and test them. And you don't have to wait to be here in school. Oh, another thing. I'm going to create a flip grid. I'm going to go visit your teacher in a little bit, and I'm going to create a flip grid. And whenever you have a chance today, make sure you go into it. It's going to say Miss Ibarra's flip grid, okay? And that way you can respond. Practice your oral language, okay? In your flip grid? Yes? Okay, and I'm going to go check them tomorrow to see how many of you did them. Yes? Okay, do your post test. There you go. Now you have a lot of information for your post test. Make sure, please, answer your questions in the back too. Don't forget about those. What is a tradition and what is culture? So as you're working on your post test, again, I want to thank you. You guys did awesome. And I hope that you guys learned something new. Maybe you can practice this technique in your classroom, or when you come to the library with Ms. Guerrero, you can tell her about the Super 3 model and that you want to do some research on any particular topic, okay?